My lightning, I'm sorry. Who? I've been literally just laying down watching TV. My body has gone to the point where I just lie and watch TV and sleep. So I'm sorry that I've been able to update videos. Oh my god, my eyes. Hopefully I can start doing some soon. I start getting medicine sooner. I don't know. I'll try my best to film this journey of mine once I go and start getting into remission and how it is to relapse really badly. Okay, cool. There's lightning. There you go. So one key point to learn how to listen to your body. I've always been praised for this, but there's moments where I ask myself, is it time to go to the hospital? And sometimes they say no because it's just going to be a waste of my time. They just waste my time. And they're like, you have a doctor's appointment, you'll be fine. That's coming up. Just wait till then. Or everything looks fine because they just take you. Sorry, I need to lean. They just check your, oh God, your normal vitals. And they don't really go more in depth until you like put pressure to do it. And I'm starting to ask those questions again to myself, like, oh, my heart rate. Like, that's 105. 108 now. Oh God. Like 113. Good Lord. Well, it's going to the point where I'm starting to ask myself, like, is it time to go to the hospital? Is it time to vouch for myself? And I need to sit down. Good Lord. You see, I can't even do this anymore. Standing up. Is it time to vouch for myself? And is it time to go to the hospital and be like, no, there definitely is something wrong. I just can't tell what it is. And at the end of the day, it's their job to figure out what it is, you know? Sorry, I'm looking at my watch. I'm at 107. But if it's going to the point where I can't do no more things anymore, like stand up or talk, I get really out of breath talking now. I think I'm traumatized from many, many years from being rejected when I knew something was wrong. And now I kind of wait until my body's really, really sick to go. But yesterday and today, I guess it's this week, I have been thinking that where I'm like, is it time to go to the hospital? Because I can't even talk anymore. My eyes, they look very sick now. Like, you can tell I don't have energy to do anything. I need help showering. Sometimes I need help like getting up from the restroom, or I need somebody to be behind me as I brush my teeth. I can barely get up to eat now. I feel like I need to be on my machine, my breathing machine. It's 111 now. Being on my breathing machine for most of the day now, which is not a good sign. And then those intrusive thoughts start coming in. We're like, I just want attention. I'm alone in the fucking house. Who the fuck do I want attention from? Like, and then it gets a little scary where I'm like, what if it's too late if I don't go? Sorry, I'm losing my energy just by filming. I'm so sorry. I need something to lay on. And then I need light, so I'm sitting down like right in front of the window, but I'm starting to feel very bad. I may start shaking soon, because I can feel my energy. Okay, we're gonna try to keep going. You're gonna start to see my eyes get a little drowsy, so you could see how bad it gets. Sorry, I'm reading my body to see what is going on. It's at 111, my heart rate. I'm getting a little pale, getting circulation. Yes. My chest really hurts, and I honestly think, from what I've been feeling, I think it goes down to my lungs. And I cannot get this woozy feeling in my head, and I'm wondering if I don't get enough air in my head too, and that's why I want to faint sometimes. This is all me putting it together because the doctors won't do their job, or they're like, "Ah, you'll be fine. Let's try this for let's wait another 3 months, you know." Today I had a dream that really touched me. I was dreaming that I was out with my family and my boyfriend eating. And I needed to go to the restroom, so I happened to go to the restroom, right? So I'm like heading my way to the restroom, and then this lady comes. She kind of looked like Aztec-y, Hispanic kind of person, and she's like, "Hi, Eunice," and I just go, "Hi, how do you know my name?" And then she's like, if I keep looking down, I'm looking at my watch to see my heart, by the way. And I go, "How do you know my name?" And she goes, "I just do." And I'm like, "No, no, 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 wait. How do you know me? Have I met you before? Who are you?" And she's like, "No." She's like, "No, we've never met before." And I'm like, how do you know me?" My heart rate's dropping, sorry. And she goes, "Let me pull you to the side." So she pulls me to the side and she says, I can see the future. And I'm like, "Well, have you seen me? It looks like you're very interested in me." And she goes, "My heart rate is dropping." And she says, "You're gonna be great. You're gonna be a great human being and a wonderful one." And I said, "Yeah, but I see some worry in your face. What is it?" And she told me, "Again, you're gonna have a wonderful life, but if you don't take care of yourself, um, I'm sleeping. I just woke up 2 hours ago. I need naps throughout the day." But she said, if you don't take care of yourself, something bad could happen. And I said, "Okay, well, what am I doing wrong of not taking care of myself? I'm like, I take care of my body pretty well. What is it that I don't do where I don't take care of myself?" And she said, "Unfortunately, death." And I said, "Whoa." And I'm like, "And what am I doing to avoid that or to not go through that?" And she said, "Unfortunately, I cannot tell you because that's for you to figure out. But if you do take care of yourself, you're going to become a wonderful, powerful human being and very kind." And I woke up. And that hit me so hard where I'm like, that is such a weird dream. I guess my mind just started thinking about like all the things that's going on with me right now. Or I'm like, maybe it's just my subconscious, and with how much trouble there is in the world right now, so much hatred and people trying to make peace about it. Maybe it's just my anxiety going, you know? And then I started to think deeper in what she said. She said it's within yourself. And I'm like, what is it? So I started going through layers of what I'm going through or what I've been through. And I would be like, "No, it's not that, because that one's getting worked out, or it's that and that's getting fixed too, you know?" Like little things like that I guess sometimes we have to understand or work through. And then it clicked. That's my health. It's my health that I need to work through. I think what she meant, or I don't know if you believe in this kind of stuff, I thought it was just very interesting. And so much interesting stuff has happened to me and my family throughout my health condition. It's if you want to hear more about that, please let me know, because it's like it trips you out, or I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I believe there's things out there that we still don't understand, you know, out in the world. But it's just kind of like, whoa, that's weird, or maybe it's a miracle, or maybe somebody from the past is trying to get to you, you know, or maybe it's sent by somebody stronger than what we are as human beings. I don't know. Well, in this scenario, and I was like, well, She was Aztec. She was Hispanic. I'm like, maybe it's an ancestor of mine trying to get to me and talk to me, protect me. And like I said, I started thinking, and I got it. I'm like, it's my health. I think I started correlating with the fact that I'm going to that point. See, it's at 1:11 now. I'm going to that point where my body can no longer do a lot of things, like even holding the phone right now. I'm using a lot of strength, even talking, like I'm losing my breath. That's why I'm doing this to my chest, because it hurts. My back hurts, my head. I can barely do anything now. And I'm like, maybe I need to vouch for myself. Maybe, I think when we have a chronic illness, we become very, unfortunately, we get used to it because they keep turning us away. Because they see our file and they're like, they're sick. They're having side effects from, their medicine, or they're having side effects from this or that, or it's not, they don't really pay attention, or they're like, we'll see you again next month. We'll see you. Let's see what this helps. Let's see what that helps. But I think what happens is I also believe that the doctors don't, sorry if my camera keeps going down. The doctors don't communicate when it comes to adults. When it came to me being a kid, they would communicate. All my doctors would communicate with each other. Like my seizure doctor, my kidney doctor, and my primary doctor. They would all communicate together. But now as an adult, none of them communicate together. I have to ask the questions where I'm like, hey, if you put me on this medicine, will it hurt my kidneys? Or what will it do this side effect? Will it do that side effect? Like, I'm the one, which it makes, you have to vouch for yourself, And I think that's the hard part. I think sometimes it's also that we become very immune to it, and also with what's going on as the world, a lot of them are leaving the medical field as well. So sometimes, like for me and my personal experience now, every time I've gone now, I don't have the same doctor. So they just read my basic and they're like, no, it's this. And I'm like, no, we already checked that. Please check something else. And they're like, no, this time we'll try this. So it keeps on getting pushed and pushed and pushed. And it goes to the point where you kind of lose faith in the medical system. And you let your body go through an extreme amount of stress, an extreme amount of pain. And that correlates with your mental health because of all the trauma that you've gone through. For instance, now I'm just letting my body go down. And I've told my family, because they're like, Eunice, you need to go to the doctor. You need to go. And I'm like, no, I won't go. Because they're just going to turn me away. The amount of times they turn me away is just unbelievable. Because they only do the basic tests, like I said. But now my mind is actually telling me now, I'm like, hey, it's getting to the point where I think I need to go to the hospital. And that's my mind and my body now protecting me. Like I said, I don't know if that dream was a subconscious dream or somebody else that's powerful and looking after me, an ancestor or something looking after me and saying, hey, if you don't take care of yourself, and I can't tell you what it is, something serious to the point where it's death can happen. So I think they're telling me to vouch for myself and not to keep letting my body get worse, because it can only take so much. But it's so hard to break 21 years of being pushed away or not listened to, or it's called rechazar in Spanish. I can't think of the word in English. If I remember, I'll put it here. But essentially being pushed away, not believed in. When I was little, when I was first getting diagnosed with kidney failure, they didn't believe me. I was getting really swollen. If I can find a photo, I'll put it here. My mom didn't like taking photos of me sick, so I don't really have a lot, but I look very swollen around this time. And my parents knew that something was happening. And they would take me to different doctors, and they will all say, she's having an allergic reaction to something. I look like this. You think that's an allergic reaction? I don't know how allergic reactions have. I don't really have anything other than seasonal, but come on. Or maybe it's doctors not wanting to spend money. But then again, they make a promise that their main duty is to help people. And it wasn't, this started in September, and it wasn't until November that I was finally diagnosed with stage 3 kidney failure. Same with my seizures. I first had a seizure when I was 10. No, actually, I first had a seizure when I was 7. And they tried to get them under control, and then I got overdosed with medicine. Because they didn't give me the right one, or they wouldn't listen to me. And then when I was 10, I had a stroke because of so much different medication they gave me. That caused me to have a scar in my brain, right here. And they did tell me that to pay attention to that scar, because if not, it could trigger seizures. My seizures were under control, and they gave me seizure medicine again when I had the stroke, and it stopped when I was 14. And then next thing you know, little by little, I would have these episodes where I would just feel a lot of fear, and I would kind of zone out. Like if I would see the wall, I would kind of see like different figures that I wouldn't understand. I wouldn't understand my own thoughts or people talking to me at all. So after, when I was 14, I just had those episodes where I would zone out, I guess, and not understand what was happening. And they kept saying it was anxiety. And I would tell them I felt a lot of fear. I don't know what this is. And I told them it wasn't anxiety, but they wouldn't listen to me. And it wasn't until last year, around this time, that finally a doctor heard me, and she's like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna try to trigger your seizures and see what happens. And now, years later, that was back in 2014, 10 years later-ish. I don't know if the right time frame. I have it pinned. That's the right time frame. Right now, I don't really know. I have a lot of brain fog at the moment, but and that pin that I have where it says my story for my GoFundMe, I actually did the research on my paperwork. It turns out, and they finally triggered to see what I was feeling, and it turns out it was seizures. So I was having these seizures for like a good 10 years or around there, and the system failed me again twice because they would not hear me. They kept on saying it was fucking anxiety. So I was going so many years without protection of my brain. I was swimming alone. You're not allowed to swim alone. You can fucking die. I was driving. I can take somebody's life because of that. They put me at risk. That's the second time they put me at risk. There's just been so many moments like that where the system has failed me, or after so many fucking years, I've learned to know my body since I was little. If a doctor would tell me, where does it hurt? And I would like really point like right at it, like this is the part that hurts. I've always been like that. I don't know where it comes from. Again, like I said, maybe it's trauma. And I get so many fucking stupid questions. I actually hate these questions. The other day we called the ambulance because again I felt my heart going, and they said something is wrong. I don't know if you want to go. And I'm like, if it's not serious, I'm not going. I don't want to pay $2,000 just to get a ride to the ambulance. If I'm kind of okay, I prefer somebody to take me, And then he goes, for you to think that something is happening with your heart, it seems like you're not freaking out. Usually people are freaking out. I was like, so it doesn't seem wrong. Like, he didn't believe me. And I'm like, and I always get that. It's fucking annoying. I know my body. Do not underestimate me. And maybe that's what the dream was telling me. That I try to come in nicely. Be like, hey, can you please treat this? Can you? And eventually it goes to the point where I get angry and I'm like, hey, you need to do this. I'm like, you need to do this test. I feel something wrong. Do another test. If not, this is happening. Like, I'm gonna make you write on my profile that you no longer want to do tests. And while I'm watching you and you enter it, and if something happens, I'm coming back my family's coming back with a coming back too soon. And that's when they kind of get intimidated. But maybe I need to come in with a stronger force and be like, hey, I do not feel well. Do something. This test is not working. Maybe that's what I need to do. And I need to learn. Sometimes I just see this nice little girl, you know, and I try to be as nice as I can, do the things that I can by myself. And I think that surprises people. Sometimes they're like, hey, you're not supposed to be doing this by now. And I'm like, I'm listening to my body. If it's letting me, I'm gonna do it. Like, even when I had the biopsy, they told me I should not move in a couple of days as much. But the second day, I was limping, but I could move. And I'm like, no, I don't want my body to get used to this. To just sit around. Like, you have to find the right balance between letting it heal and then making it work again to its normal form. There is no right or wrong. And I just have an immense amount of anxiety where I'm trying to find that balance. I'm like, when is it time to go? My body is shutting down. I wake up, I eat, I sleep, I wake up, and I sleep for 4 hours, and I wake up for 4 hours, and I sleep all 8 hours, and then I wake up again, and it's a constant cycle. My body is tired, my body's shutting down. And then some of the fucking stupid answers I get are like, you have a doctor's appointment coming up, go there. This is just for like emergencies. And I remember this fucking time. I had a kidney infection. This is one of the reasons why I think my kidneys failed. I remember I was at work, and thankfully by that time a co-worker had come in. I was the first one in the shift. I used to work at a gym, and little by little as I was working, I'm like, I don't think this is normal. Like, my kidneys started hurting, and I'm like, and then it was just a little bit, because sometimes it hurts a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna ignore it, keep working, you know, I need the hours. And then it started hurting more, and this is within an hour, and it started hurting more and more and more and more, and I'm like, I gotta go. So I go, and I go home, and I'm like, I need to go to the hospital. And everybody's surprised because I don't go to hospitals. Like I said, I'm very, no, because they just send you home and they don't do anything. And so if I'm asking to go to the hospital, it means something serious is going on. Like I said, you know, my boyfriend ended up taking me to the hospital. Around this time, there was such a wait. This is last year. So I was waiting really badly there in pain, and they wouldn't let my boyfriend come. And this is one of the things that I hate, that I have, in a way, taught my family or friends what to do in situations like that. And they know my body because I've taught them, you know, and they wouldn't let him come in. And that got me very angry. I understand it gets overflown, but you're just fucking sitting there in a wheelchair. Nobody's really paying attention until you fucking scream. There's just so many irritating things about the hospital. Again, if you want to know about the irritating things that irritate me, let me know, and I can do a video about that. But at that time, I waited so long, and then finally they put me in a room. I'm not even hooked up. I wasn't hooked up for like 40 minutes, and I'm in so much pain. Now I'm screaming and I'm crying. And my boyfriend's there. He's just like so frustrated. And finally, the nurse, I called like the button on the nurse, and I'm like, hey, when are you guys gonna hook me up? At least take my blood pressure, do something, you know? And I was like, where is the doctor? And he's like, this fucking piece of, I remember him watching as I waited for a room. He was just like skipping around, laughing, and, you know, having a great time because he's fine. And that same guy came in, and he's like, well, she's busy right now. And I'm like, you can't even hook me up. And he's like, no, because I haven't had the go-to. And I'm like, I'm in pain. I have a kidney infection. And he's like, how do you know you have a kidney infection? And I'm like, because I know my body. And then he's like, well, she's busy. And then he left. And then like 30 minutes passed.
So this is now like a good, like 4 hours in with my kidney hurting really badly. And my mind is spiraling now because I'm like crying and yelling. And I'm like, I'm about to lose my kidney. At that time, my kidney was working 60%. And I'm like, I'm about to lose my kidneys. It's gonna go and I'm about to relapse again. That was around March of last year. I relapsed. And I went to the point where I was coming in and out of conscious. And they still wouldn't do anything. And finally, this guy came in. He was a nurse and he was like restocking the equipment that sometimes they need. And he was very nice. And I'm very thankful for that guy. If he ever gets to see this video, thank you. I really appreciate it because you made the doctor come in. You listened to me. And finally, I told the guy, I'm like, hey, please, I'm begging you. Can you please tell the doctor to come in? I'm in an immense amount of pain. I'm scared I'm losing my kidney. And within like 10 minutes, the doctor finally came in. So the other fucking piece of shit nurse, it was a lie because this guy immediately got help. Because the other guy that was like fucking jumping and having all the time of his life, he didn't care. He didn't care about the people. If you're gonna work in a hospital setting, care. Because if not, why are you there? Money? We're humans. So the doctor finally came in, and this, oh my god, this doctor as well, I am now angry because in amounts of pain. This is 5 hours later. And again, I'm crying now because I'm like, I'm gonna lose my kidney. Please help me. And the doctor came in and she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm in a lot of pain. 1 out of 10, I am a 10. I have nephrotic syndrome. My left kidney's really hurting and I think I have an infection. And then she's like, well, how do you know you have an infection? I'm like, because I've been sick for 21 years. Read my file. And her fucking answer was, your kidneys don't hurt. Oh, that made me so angry. Where I wanted to fight, but I just wanted the pain to go away. Where I was gonna be like, do you have kidney failure? Have you ever asked a kidney failure person if the kidneys hurt? They hurt. They hurt. Even when you're like dehydrated and you don't have kidney failure, they hurt. Your kidneys are asking you to drink water. I was like, you don't even have to give me medicine right now. Just do the blood work. And after the blood work comes, give me medicine, please. Just do it so you can see how to help me. Another hour passes by. This is 6 hours of me waiting with an extreme amount of pain and fear that I was gonna relapse or lose my kidney. And then she goes and she ordered the blood work. And here within 30 minutes, they come in to give me medicine. And I have a kidney infection on my left kidney. That doctor never came back. I was ready to fight if she came back. But with all this saying, maybe that's what my dream was telling me. That maybe that's how I just need to come in. If the first moment they don't listen to me or they push me away, just immediately get that side of me out so they can listen or actually pay attention to my body. I have blood work tomorrow, and then the week after I have a kidney appointment to see what to do, what kind of medicine they're gonna put me on. Either steroids, infusion, or some other medicine, I don't remember. And now I'm fighting my brain to be like, should I wait till then or should I go now? Because you always get a different doctor. It's at 1:15. You can kind of see the bottom one. It's 1:14 now. And I'm like, if I go to the ER, they're not gonna communicate with my actual doctors. And even then, they change all the fucking time, so I don't even know what to do. And then whatever the fuck this is happening with my heart, I kid you not, I think it's either my lungs or my heart and them not. Something is happening here. I'm just putting 2 and 2 together because of different things that I've Googled. Can you fucking believe that I have to Google this thing and make them, show them the work instead of them doing the work as doctors. Before the pandemic, they actually paid a lot of attention, and maybe just something to do them out. Or maybe they don't pay enough anymore. They're losing money. I don't know what it is, but it's like everything is kind of with the medical system. But yeah, I've been putting this and this together. And if I can find it, I'll insert it with this clip of what I think is happening with my heart and my lungs and why I can't breathe and my heart shoots up so much. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm showing more emotion and looking sicker and not having enough energy to do more things and other than just sit down. I'm gonna go take a nap now. I hope you guys are doing well, even within all the chaos that's going around. Take care of that beautiful body of yours, and I'll see you in the next one. I don't know when it'll come out, but I'll see you then, okay? Bye. I'm in the hospital. I don't feel good.